Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is May 16th, 2025, and the top news about cryptocurrencies is as follows. And we will start today from our countries and go to Ukraine, where the bill to make Bitcoin a reserve currency in Ukraine seems to be in the final stages. This was told to us by Mr. Zhelezniak, who is a member of parliament and confirmed the plan to a local media outlet. So maybe Ukraine will be the second country to make Bitcoin a reserve currency. From Ukraine, we will also go to the Central Bank of Russia, which considers Bitcoin to be the top global investment for 2022. What the bank did was to make this list that you see in front of you, which compares the performance of various investment vehicles. In the last 12 months, Bitcoin is in the green 38 points, and the second asset that reaches it is gold with 26.3 points. Whereas if we take the numbers from 2022, Bitcoin has done 121.3 points and gold 97.6 points. So, according to the Bank of Russia, with all the things it compares, Bitcoin is the best. And finishing with our countries, we will also go to our companies, and we will go to a company listed on the NASDAQ called BTCS, which we learned that it wants to buy Ethereum worth $57.8 million. As the company itself says, this move will allow it to expand node operations, and it will create recurring income from Ethereum based on staking. So these are the latest moves from this company. But continuing with our companies, we will go to Alabraaj, which is a Bahrain-based company that is adopting this strategy of Michael Saylor, and will buy Bitcoin. We do not know how much Bitcoin it will buy and when, but it told us that this is what it wants to do. And from those companies, we're going to go to an unknown company called BlackRock, which we learned had its first direct integration with a DeFi on Avalanche. Specifically, BlackRock's tokenized treasury, which is currently worth $3 billion, has launched its first direct integration with the DeFi Euler on Avalanche, according to an announcement, thanks to a technology called S-Token, which was developed by Securitize, which is the company that manages it. And this technology allows in tokenized products like BUIDL to be extended to other on-chains. So now there will be what's called S-Build, which will be a synthetic ERC20 that will be able to work on other networks, like Avalanche. And from what companies are doing, we're also going to go to our exchange, and we're going to go to Coinbase, where we unfortunately learned that it was hacked. More specifically, Coinbase has reportedly fired a team of customer support representatives after they allegedly engaged in social engineering attacks against users. The contracted representatives were based in India. Coinbase's chief security officer, Philip Martin, said the company has reported customer support associates who allowed scammers to access user data, implying that they could be Indian nationals. So as you can imagine, the hackers somehow managed to convince Coinbase customer support to provide them with sensitive information from Coinbase users. Let's say that Coinbase, from what it sounds like, has to pay between $180 million and $400 million in restitution and compensation. Moving on to the Coinbase issue, let's say that they haven't stolen any money from the exchange so far. They've only stolen data, like email, phone, username, and address. So if you're using Coinbase, be very careful because the criminals might have personal data. However, we are not done with Coinbase, and I want to tell you that the criminals demanded $20 million in ransom from the exchange to keep the information they stole from the network. However, Coinbase refused to give this money, and as the exchange told us, less than 1% of the data of monthly users who trade on the exchange was actually affected by the attack. And finally, let's say that Coinbase is now offering $20 million to anyone who provides useful information about who these criminals might be in order to catch them. So that's the latest news from Coinbase, with its share, as you understand, having fallen by at least 7.20% on the 24-hour chart due to this breach. And the latest news from our exchange, we go to FTX Europe, where we learned that on May 30th, it will distribute more than $5 billion to users who are entitled to it. Let's say that this is very good news for the crypto market because some of this amount may find its way back into the crypto market. And it's time to go to the crypto market itself, since I mentioned it, with Bitcoin at $104,000, a price that has not been affected by the Coinbase incident because they did not steal money. If they had stolen money, it would have affected BTC, as you understand. That wraps up the top news for crypto. Today is May 16th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.